How do I get him to treat me like a priority? In this video, I'm going to share exactly how to be a man's priority and not just an option. It's Sabrina, your personal love advisor from the channel where we show you how love actually works, a new mode. I'm super excited to cover this topic because I get so many questions on this. Questions like, my boyfriend doesn't make me a priority, what do I do? I feel like he doesn't spend any time with me. I feel like he doesn't appreciate me. I just don't feel like a priority in my relationship. When you don't feel like a priority, it's just a horrible feeling. You end up in this toxic cycle of trying to prove yourself to him and trying to carve out space for yourself in his life. And it's just devastating when he doesn't reciprocate. You just feel like you're not enough, like you're not good enough, and it eats away at you. You feel like you're not important to the person who is the most important to you. It's devastating. I mean, I've been there. I remember those feelings, and I'm here for you. I'm here to help. We're going to talk this through. I'm going to explain everything. You don't get a man to treat you like a priority by demanding it or even asking for it. You need to inspire it. So if you want to learn exactly how to be a man's #1 priority, type "I'm ready" right now in the comment section while the intro plays. Before we begin, I have a small favor to ask. If you like this video, if you like any of my videos, if you like relationship advice, please give me a like, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell so you get notified when I post new videos, and please leave a comment letting me know what other topics you'd like me to cover. Okay, let's begin. First, what does it mean to be a man's priority? Being a man's priority does not mean you are the sole center of his universe. That sort of thing only exists in the movies. It only exists in romantic comedies. It is not realistic to expect him to just be there to worship you and drop everything else in his life and just be there to worship himself to you. It's just not realistic. And even if a guy did do that, you'd probably lose interest in him in 5 minutes, because what attracted you to him in the first place was the fact that he, had a well-rounded life and he had so much going on in his life. So if you need a guy to constantly give you that love, that affirmation, that everything at all times, it usually signals that you have a void within yourself, and that's not a healthy or realistic expectation. Now, if you feel like you're not a priority because he's putting work first, that's definitely something that I hear a lot, or he's prioritizing his friends or the gym or video games or his dog, and you just feel like you're falling lower and lower on the list, that's something else, and that's definitely a problem that needs to be addressed. So be real. Are you actually not a priority in his life, or are you just lacking in other areas of his life and you're just looking to him to fill you up in those places where, you're a little empty? Or are you just actually not a priority and he just puts you last on the list? Men can easily pick up on your vibe, so if you're coming from a needy place, he's gonna know, and he's just not gonna want to feed into that energy because nobody wants to be around that. And you're just gonna sink even lower on his priority list, and he'll probably just pull away even further, and it'll just make whatever problems you're having even worse. So just be mindful of that. Okay, let's talk about how to get him to treat you like a priority. #1, you need to understand how men operate. Most men, and I'm gonna speak in generalities here, I recognize that this isn't true of every single man and every single woman, but it is true of most men and most women, so we're just gonna speak in generalities here because it just makes life easier. Most men can't flow as easily as most women can. Most women are really good at multitasking, and most men just aren't. So what that means is he's single focused and goal oriented. So if he's at work, his head is at work and nothing exists outside of work. So if you notice that he's not texting you, you're not hearing from him throughout the day, it's because he's busy with other things. And most women don't get this because, personally, I remember times in my life when I was single and dating, and I could be G-chatting all the live long day with a new guy that I was dating while doing my job, while writing articles, while editing videos, while talking to my friends, while online shopping. And I can switch gears easily and do everything well at the same time. Most men are not like this. Now, you're probably gonna counter this with, but he texted me all the time in the beginning. In the beginning, he was a texting machine, so clearly he knows how to be at work and texting. Well, what you need to remember here is, as I said before, men are goal-oriented. In the beginning of your relationship, he was focused on winning you over. That was his goal. You're a new woman in his life that he likes. He wants to win you over, so he knows, okay, for now, I'm gonna have to suck it up, even though this is annoying, even though I don't wanna be texting all day, I really wanna focus on my job. I really like this girl, I gotta win her over, I gotta impress her, so I'm just gonna text her all day and really just establish something. But once you're established, he doesn't feel the need to do that anymore. So that's why you're not hearing from him so much during the day. And the big mistake here is a lot of women take it to mean, oh, he's losing interest in me. I'm not a priority anymore because he used to text me all the time. Now I don't hear from him anymore, so he must not like me anymore. This is a big mistake. All it means is he's just settling into a more realistic, normal pace for the relationship. And And that's a good thing. It means that he's getting comfortable with you. So don't turn this into a whole big relationship problem and harp on him as to why don't I hear from you anymore? Why? Because that is just gonna turn him off and just cause problems when there aren't any. You just need to realize that in general, this is how most men operate. They just can't float in and out so easily. In a relationship, it's really important to respect what the other person needs, even if this is counter to what you want. So maybe you want him to text you all day, but you know that he needs that mental space during the day to focus on his job. And so you say, I respect that you need that. And even though I want something else, I'm gonna give you what you need. This is the sign of emotional maturity. And a woman who can do this really stands out amongst the rest. She's the one that really captures a man's attention and, makes him think, this woman's really worth holding on to, because men recognize that this sort of emotional maturity is pretty rare, especially these days. I do also want to point out though, if a guy is just constantly slammed and he just has no time for you, he has no time to see you, he has no time to text you, he has no time to call you, he waits days before getting back to you, and he always has an excuse. It's always something, he's busy or he's sick or his mom's sick or his dog's sick or whatever it is. But if he just never has any time, then either he's just not that into you, like he's into you a little bit, but not enough to really push through whatever's going on, or he's just not in a place in his life where he can be in a relationship. If a guy just has so much going on, he can't even get a handle on his life, he just can't carve out that space for someone else. And if this is the case, then this is just not someone you want to be involved with. And I would just say, look, sounds like you have a lot going on. It's been great getting to know you, but I think you should just take this time to deal with whatever you're dealing with. Now, this might be terrifying, especially if you really like this guy, because who's going to let go of a guy that they really like? But you need to keep in mind that if he actually likes you, truly, sincerely, really likes you, he's not just gonna let you go. Like, that, guys don't do that. He'll get into shape real quick if he thinks there's a risk of losing you. Number 2, keep your options open. Now, this one obviously applies if you're in the early stages of dating, you're not yet established, you haven't had the talk to make things official. Don't commit yourself to him before he commits to you. Don't act like his girlfriend when he's not your boyfriend. This is how you set the stage to get taken for granted. And I'm not saying that the guys are malicious here. It's just human nature to put in the bare minimum effort and get the maximum results. It's like if you're at your job and you can skate by, you can just phone it in and skate by, and you're still getting a great paycheck and you're not really doing much. You're not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna up the ante because, just because. No, because you're already getting great rewards, especially if you're getting promotions and bonuses just by what you're doing. You have no motivation to change. So it's the same in a relationship. If a guy can just phone it in and you're just there and you're showering him with all these gifts and affection and all of this, then he has no motivation to change anything because you're giving him like the best situation right now. And you might not feel like a priority, but that's because he doesn't need to prioritize you, because you're still gonna prioritize him. He doesn't have to really give anything to you. I think that a lot of women make the mistake of trying to win a man over by showing him how amazing she is. Like, once he sees what a good cook I am, what a good girlfriend I am, how supportive I could be, how I can make his life so easy, then he'll commit to me. And that's not how it works. That's not how commitment works for men. The way you get the commitment from him is if you can reach him at that deep level and get to know him in a way that nobody else does. You learn things about him that you can't just discover by looking at his LinkedIn profile or his Facebook page. You really tap into the man he wants to be, what his goals are, his ambitions, his mission. If you're a reader of A New Mode, you know all about how every man has a mission. We talk about this a lot. If you tap into that, that's what makes you stand out. That's what makes him think, wow, this woman is special, this woman is different. I mean, communication these days is so shallow and surface level in general. It's all about just quick texts and communicating emotions via emojis. If you can really tap into who he is, that's what sets you apart. So that's what you should focus on, not on showing him how amazing you are and trying to prove yourself to him. Also, I want to mention that you don't get a man to treat you like a priority by worrying about it, obsessing about it. You don't really get anything by worrying and obsessing about it. That's just the way to not get what it is that you want. You get it by prioritizing yourself and by focusing on building a meaningful connection with him. All dating is discovering if you're compatible with someone else and if you want to continue to have that person in your life. It's not a measure of your self-esteem or your self-worth. It's just a discovery process. And when you can look at it like that, it takes so much of the pressure off and you stop seeing it as a game of life and death. I also want to mention that it's important not to be afraid to use your walking power. This is something, again, that we talk about a lot on A New Mode, and something that a lot of women are terrified of, because for some reason people feel that it's better to just stay in a bad relationship than no relationship. Whereas it's so much better to just be on your own, focus on yourself, focus on filling yourself up and making your life happy, rather than being in a relationship that drags you down. So you need to carry that power with you. That doesn't mean that you threaten him by saying, if you don't step up, I'm gonna walk away. It means mentally, you know, if this isn't what I want, if I'm not a priority to this man, if it seems like he can't be bothered, I'm not afraid to leave this relationship because I know I'll be okay. It's just carrying that belief. You don't advertise it for the world to see. You don't post it on your social media. You just hold the belief that if this isn't what I want, I'll walk away and I'll be fine. I'll be okay. If you have any questions about anything I've covered so far, please ask away in the comment section. I will answer everyone as soon as I get a chance. Okay, number 3, the third way to get a man to treat you like a priority is to get back to who you were before. Now this applies whether you're dating or whether you've been married for 10 years. I think that in a relationship, a lot of the times we let things fall by the wayside and we don't do the things that we did before when we were single. Because when you're single, you have fill yourself up with all different things, with different hobbies, with going out with friends, and you create this whole fulfilling life for yourself. And if you're not doing that, then you should be doing that, because that is the way to find happiness and get the love that you want. If you're just waiting around for him to put you first, it's not going to happen. You need to fill your time, fill your life up with things that you enjoy, that make you happy. And then that's what's gonna make him more attracted to you. That's what's gonna make him see you in a different light. That's what's gonna make him appreciate you more. And that's what's gonna make him start vying for more of your attention, because you're not placing all of your attention on him. Part of what attracted him to you was that you had so much going on in your life. And if now you have nothing going on in your life except for the relationship, then he doesn't feel that strong of a pull towards you, because that's more of an unattractive energy. That's more of a leechy, sucking things out of the relationship type of energy. Whereas if you have this whole full, fulfilling life outside of the relationship, you bring that into the relationship. There's nothing more attractive than a happy, confident, fulfilled woman. And every single man on the planet will agree with me there. I don't even need to speak in generalities here, because this is true across the boards. So focus on that instead of focusing on, where is he? Why isn't he texting me? How does he feel about me? Does he still like me? Is he losing interest? What's going on? Why am I not a priority? Focus on making your life happy, fun, fulfilling, being your best self, engaging in self-care. It's all the buzz these days. And it doesn't mean bubble baths and face masks. It means finding your own happiness. And that's really important. And that's something that gets so neglected. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. If you are, please give it a like, please share, please comment, please ring the bell so you get notified. And yeah, please comment if you have any questions, any comments, if you wanna recommend other topics you want me to cover. Remember that obsessing gets you nowhere. It does not get you the priority treatment that you want. What gets you there is focusing on yourself, focusing on your happiness, and focusing on building a meaningful connection. When you do that, everything else in your life will fall into place. Trust me. The full article on how to be a priority is in the description box, so just check out that link if you want to learn more. For more love advice, check out anewmode.com and check out more videos on this channel, and I will see you next time.